Hi, I'm Cindy Braddock, the Boulder County Assessor, and you've caught me today on the day that we had our ugly sweater contest. And I'll have you know that I was not successful in winning this lovely award for having the ugliest sweater. But what I do want to tell you is that we've had a very successful year here in the Assessor's Office. So this is a reappraisal year, and every reappraisal year we revalue all properties in Boulder County. And this is a year-long process. The first part of the year we set the values and we notice property owners, and then we offer property owners their due process to discuss values with us. And the outcome of this, we deliver to the taxing jurisdictions, which includes Boulder County. So just to give you a sense of the values that we've gotten this year, the market value of the county, all the taxable properties in the county, is $82 billion approximately. Now I want you to remember that that is not a current value. That's the value as of June 30th, 2018. The value that's used to collect taxes from is a percentage of that total market value, and currently that's $8.6 billion. And that is collected by the districts using the mill levies to calculate the amount of tax that each property will pay. And that is collected by my peer, Paul Weissman, in the Treasurer's Office. In service to the public, we also do a couple of other things. Every year for the past few years, Paul Weissman and I have collaborated to reach out to the public to cover several different property types and programs that we have in our offices. The first one that we entered into is a series of open houses, and it's to get the word out to seniors who are qualifying for a variety of senior programs so that they know that they can apply and utilize these programs. The other one that we've done is to explain to property owners the business personal property tax, and this is the taxation of business equipment. And so Paul has reached out with my staff to business owners to help them understand the process that they need to do to declare their taxable items. The third one that we are starting this year is to reach out to the public to help them understand their tax bill. They receive this every year from Paul. There's a lot of confusion around what we do with these tax bills, what they're for, and are there any remedies if we consider them to still be too high to pay. So we'll be reaching out this year to do that as well. My staff has been incredibly patient with me this year as I've been working closely with HR to do a workload analysis to make sure that everyone is doing the right amount of work and that their job classification is reflected in the work that they do. The other group that we've been working closely with is IT, and my technical support staff have been looking at creating Power spreadsheets, dashboards, and access to all kinds of data so we can see patterns and errors and issues in our data and therefore serve the public better. 2020 is an intervening year for us, and therefore a lighter year when it comes to establishing values and working with property owners. So I'm looking forward to continuing my work with my staff members, with HR and IT, and providing the best in public service that we can.
Hi everyone, Molly Fitzpatrick. It has been a great year serving as your Boulder County Clerk and Recorder. It has been so wonderful being a part of the Clerk and Recorder team, and it's also been wonderful being a part of the larger Boulder County organization. In 2019, we did a strategic planning process to really anchor our team's focus and alignment on our vision, goals, and objectives. And some of my favorite parts of the job so far have been our all-day staff event where we really oriented our entire organization around that strategic plan. And another favorite part of the year was getting our strategic plan for equity and inclusion ready to go and getting our CRE team established. In 2019, we had our first full year under the new statewide motor vehicle system, Colorado Drives. And so our staff had a busy year continuing to implement changes and processes to ensure that we're offering the best in public service. In 2019, we also installed a brand new motor vehicle express kiosk in a Longmont King Soopers, which we're thrilled about because it allows residents to renew their vehicle registration at this kiosk when they're doing something as simple as shopping for their groceries. In our recording department, we brought many projects over the finish line that have been in the works for years. The first project was enrolling the state in electronically recording liens and releases, which is exciting because they're one of our most frequent partners, and so it brings a more modern and efficient way that we can work with them, and we are also the first county in the state to be able to work with them in this capacity. The second accomplishment is increasing our e-recordings from 76% to 80%, which is the result of a lot of work over the last year and years. And then the third accomplishment was the implementation of the first phase of our historical book and document preservation efforts. And we're doing this so we ensure that we have a way to preserve the incredible history that we have here at the Recording Division. In 2019, we had incredible turnout for Boulder County, which we are very proud of. We had turnout over 50%, which is really incredible for a coordinated election, and it gets us really excited to think about the participation that we will see in 2020. We are busy preparing for the 3 elections that we'll have next year: the presidential primary, the summer primary, and the general election. And our team in 2019 was busy preparing for these elections and implementing changes that we saw from the 2019 legislative session. And we're looking forward to 17-year-olds now having the ability to participate in our primaries if they'll be 18 by the general election. So if you know a 17-year-old in your life, make sure that they're registered and ready to participate. We had a great 2019, and I am so thankful to everyone at the Clerk Recorder's office for making it so successful. And I'm looking forward to taking all of the momentum that we generated in 2019 to make 2020 our best year.
Hi, I'm Robin Bohannon, the Director of Boulder County Community Services. Boulder County Community Services continues to focus our work on accessible and effective services in partnership with our sister agencies, Housing and Human Services, Public Health, and our community partners. In the coming year, we will also work in partnership to ensure that our most vulnerable residents do not go unseen and uncounted during the upcoming 2020 census. For our Area Agency on Aging, that means engaging with older adults, community partners, policymakers, and businesses to address the unprecedented change in Boulder County's population. As we live longer, incidents of chronic disease and disability are rising. Formal and informal caregivers are in short and decreasing supply. There are shared concerns across all communities: housing, transportation, access to services, and social isolation. What's next? We're working with our community to develop a 4-year community strategic plan to ensure that we continue to live in a community where we all can age well. In the criminal justice system, the past year has seen significant investments in jail-based programming. These new program efforts specifically address those struggling with mental health issues and/or opioid use or abuse, helping clients stabilize and receive critical behavioral health services while in jail, and enhancing re-entry supports and responsive services to decrease the likelihood that individuals will return to jail. Homeless Solutions for Boulder County has had great success in both establishing a sustainable system and in providing effective services to individuals experiencing homelessness. Entering our 3rd year, we have screened 4,175 individuals, with almost 20% exiting the shelter system, including 381 stably housed. Boulder County Head Start has formed new partnerships and expanded old ones. The most exciting of these include bringing 3 new Head Start classrooms at the Arapahoe YMCA in Lafayette and a new site at Mesa Elementary in Boulder. Community Action Programs has launched the Social Empathy Board Game, a 45-minute experience that supports a deeper understanding of the daily challenges of our community's low-income workers. Will you pay for childcare or buy groceries this month? Step into your neighbor's shoes and walk away with a new perspective. In a tight labor market, Workforce Boulder County has increased opportunities to match workers with previously perceived barriers to available jobs. For our business partners, this may mean dropping educational requirements, waiving criminal background checks, and offering training to prospective workers who lack traditional skills. Workforce continues to demonstrate a significant return on investment when we engage this population, and we will continue to partner with local businesses who are ready to move in this direction. We also streamlined our performance evaluation and personnel onboarding processes and joined forces with other departments via the Administrative Managers Collective Committee to share administrative best practices and create standardization countywide. Amidst of all of this change management, our admin and fiscal staff still know how to have fun. Thank you to all of our staff who continue to persevere with this in mind. Those who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it.
Hi, I'm Transportation Director Jeff Maxwell, and I'm standing in front of State Highway 119, which is one of the busiest travel corridors in Boulder County. The Transportation Department team has been working hard for many years to bring multimodal improvements to this key regional corridor, and I'm excited to announce that through their hard work and dedication, we were able to secure significant funding from CDOT to kick off the project. We'll be starting with capacity and safety improvements at the intersection of State Highway 52 and working to initiate managed lanes between Boulder and Longmont. This is a major step toward implementing multimodal improvements and a multimodal corridor between Boulder and Longmont. While we were working to secure funding for multimodal improvements, our engineering team was busy completing work on 6 railroad crossings along the same corridor so they can be declared quiet zones by the Federal Railroad Administration. This will be a welcome change for the many residents who live and work near these crossings. Some of the other engineering projects we completed in 2019 that you may have seen include resurfacing Lee Hill Drive between Old Stage and Deer Trail Roads, widening and resurfacing of North 95th Street between Lookout and Plateau Roads, repaving Niwot Road, and installing major culvert under North 55th Street and North County Line Road. One of the biggest tasks we finished this year is the update to the Boulder County Transportation Master Plan. Countless hours of work went into updating this roadmap for the future of how we'll move people around this amazing county and region. A big thanks goes out to all the residents who have provided invaluable feedback and input by attending public meetings and sending us their thoughts. Another one of our major planning efforts is the Floodplain Management and Transportation System Resiliency Study. This is examining our roads and streams for vulnerabilities and places where we can make improvements to aid in our response to major disaster events. 2020 is going to be a busy year, but I'm confident that we're up to the task. You're going to see our crews and contractors back on the roads throughout the county to maintain, repair, and rebuild some important stretches of roadway, including South Boulder Road between McCaslin and Cherryvale, Old Stage Road, US 287 and Isabel intersection, North 71st Street, and new paths in and around Williams Fork Twin Lakes area in Gun Barrel as part of an important multimodal connections project. I'd really like to thank all the incredibly talented and hardworking women and men of the Transportation Department who are really responsible for these outstanding accomplishments. I'd also like to thank the residents of Boulder County for continuing to provide invaluable feedback for our plans and studies, because nobody knows this area like those that call it home.
Hi, I'm Emma Hall. I am the Boulder County coroner. And I have to say one of our top accomplishments for 2019 was the employee engagement survey. We did have the top score throughout the county this year, and we did have that also in 2017. So I think that, it really takes people coming to work every day loving what they do. And this is a field that's very difficult. We do a lot of difficult work in this office. So another fun thing we can talk about for 2018 is we started a historical committee that it took off in 2018, and then we had a full year this year in 2019. The historical committee presently consists of 2 volunteers who come in and spend their time going through our old files from the 1950s and scanning and organizing and going through the legacy information and making sure that we've got it electronically. We just recruited a 3rd volunteer, which we're very excited about. Another great thing about 2019 is we have a couple new advances in DNA that have been really useful for us this year. The first is genetic DNA profiling. You're hearing of more and more offices making identification through this means, and we've got several on file that we would love to do this. It is quite expensive, so we have to figure out a plan for that, but we are in the process of already working on one case that's near completion at this point. The second DNA tool that we now have, it's a company in Longmont called Andy Corporation, and what they're able to do is compare a DNA that we have here to a family member and get that profiling done within minutes, where it used to take days, weeks, months. So it's pretty awesome. So 2019 was really a great collaboration year for us. We spent quite a bit of time working on several different plans throughout the county. One was with the Boulder Office of Emergency Management with the Boulder Mass Fatality Plan. A second plan that we spent a lot of time on was with Public Health, and that was for the Emergency Response Plan for drug-related outbreaks. One A really exciting project for me is I am on an opinion paper, which is through the National Association of Medical Examiners. And this opinion paper is how we deal with opioid deaths on a nationwide basis. So also along the lines of opioids, we were able to get a grant this year through the CDPHE for prevention of opioid deaths. And what we were able to utilize that money for this year was to get access to a system called Choreo. And what that is it is electronic access to medical records. So as the coroner's office, we are able to have access to medical records in the process of investigating a death. What Choreo does is, because they're electronic records, we can get them pretty much immediately. So it is a huge increase in our efficiency in getting data. All of the people that we service in this community really deserve to have, an excellent person come out and treat them with care and compassion and professionalism. And that's what I have in my staff. And so I'm so grateful for them that they come to work every day ready to go and ready to serve our Boulder County community. So thank you.
I got this, get this in there and get this fixed, and I'll be right with you. Hold on, I'm just gotta finish this up. I've been trying to get this thing fixed again. I can't see. What? That might work better. Oh yeah, perfect. Love it. I love it. Perfect. All right. Hi, I'm Dale Case, Director of the Boulder County Land Use Department. 2019 was full of accomplishments for the staff and land use, along with our partner agencies. 2019 saw a very active year for our long-range planning team, with 6 land use code amendments adopted or implemented. 2 of the most impactful updates were the agricultural-related amendments and the solar energy code amendments. The result of numerous meetings and input from local farmers and ranchers, the agricultural-related amendments aim to ease the regulatory burden on ag producers, including practices such as farm events, farm sales, and structures to extend the growing season. The solar energy systems amendments facilitate solar energy installation in appropriate locations. Land use worked collaboratively with the Parks and Open Space Department and Sustainability Office to identify potential locations for solar gardens in Boulder County. Fist bump you folks, yes! Through this work, staff identified opportunities to improve the clarity and content of the code. One positive result of this code update has been the approval of Jack's Solar Garden, a 1.2 megawatt community solar garden near Longmont, planned for construction in 2020, the first to utilize the updated land use code. Land use code updates currently underway include further updates to the special review regulations for oil and gas operations. As the regulations are updated, a moratorium on oil and gas development applications remains in effect until March 28, 2020. Land use staff continues to lead efforts at the local and state level to address these impacts. Staff provided significant technical planning information as Senate Bill 19-181 was debated and eventually passed. This new legislation provides greater opportunity for us to more fully protect our residents and the environment from the impacts of oil and gas development. Our permitting, we expect to process more than 3,800 building permit applications this year. And the county still has not shrunk in geographic size, and the building inspectors are still covering 720 square miles of county, conducting more than 10,000 inspections this year. The tremendous work by this staff involves our partners in public health, transportation, and our wildfire mitigation staff. Fist bump, bam. This year, we also celebrated the enrollment of the 2,000th participant in Wildfire Partners, an important milestone for our dedicated wildfire mitigation team and our many partners. Wildfire Partners continues to serve as a model climate adaptation and resiliency initiative. I want to thank the land use staff, our members of our boards and commissions, and all our colleagues across the county for a terrific 2019 and all the accomplishments that we've just run over. We will be rocking and rolling into 2020 and look forward to working together to make changes that make this county the place we want it to be. Y'all!
Hello, I'm Ramona Farino, Chief Financial Officer with the Office of Financial Management. It's been a great year of change for the groups of finance and budget. In May of 2019, the board approved a reorganization and combined our groups, and it's been a great merger. The board approved this reorganization to put us in line with industry standards and also to create better efficiency. Under this new model, we envision being more proactive in our support of new programs, such as our 2 new voter-approved initiatives for sustainability and offender management. Thank you for everyone's patience as we work through this reorganization. I'm honored to work with everybody on this team in the Office of Financial Management. OFM, you're amazing. It certainly has been a year of change. The same day that we merged our offices, we also implemented and went live with a new Oracle system. Our commissioner's goal in implementing this new system was to create a program that could track desired measures, allow for better analytics, and create better transparency. We're moving down that road with a new chart of accounts that will support the tracking of the BOCC's strategic priorities as adopted last year. As with any implementation, however, it has been difficult, and I'm the first to honor that. We do have struggles, but we continue to learn every day, and I do appreciate all of you that continue to work with us across all departments and offices to make this better each and every day. In the fourth quarter of 2020, after a full year of tracking revenues and expenses, we will undertake a new transparency project, which will allow us to post better financial data on our public website. We're excited to collaborate with our IT staff on this amazing project. So thank you all again. 2019 was a big and engaging year. We're looking forward to another great year in 2020 and to collaborating with all of you.
I'm Ben Perlman. I'm the Boulder County Attorney. It was a big year in the Boulder County Attorney's Office. For some reason, I spent more time with other county attorneys this year than I usually do, and that's for a bunch of reasons. But there were a couple things that I think are noteworthy from those conversations. One of which is how lucky I think we are to work for Boulder County, because we have this collection of top-notch, very dedicated public servants who operate at a very high level that are doing the work day in and day out. And I don't think everybody can say that. The second is that it's clear to me that the work that we do in our office is much more challenging, complicated, interesting, and ultimately meaningful than the work of some of my colleagues. And that is because of the cutting edge work that is done throughout every department and every office in the county. In many other ways, our offices are much like other county attorney offices. For instance, this year we processed 2,500 contracts, about 400 open records requests. We have about 160 dependency neglects going on at any moment, about 5,000 or so child support cases, and dozens of mental health cases as well. And we handle issues from every department and every office like everybody else does. When it comes to litigation, our litigation tends to be a little bit interesting than other local governments. First and foremost, it's oil and gas litigation. That makes it different. We have 2 active cases against operators who want to drill in Boulder County. We also are involved in a case against Exxon and Suncor over the impacts of climate change on Boulder County. And we're in a case that is trying to convince the EPA that they should add Northern Weld and Northern Larimer to an ozone non-attainment area so that those impacts can actually be addressed in a much more effective way. We are also working on some class action cases related to opioids and teen vaping. Well, I'm sure that 2020 will also be an eventful year in our office. We will see a lot of legal issues related to our conversion to a county manager system that we'll have to work through. We know that we will be preparing for a tremendously consequential 2020 election. It is also the year that we will find out how we're going to have to work with FEMA or do battle with FEMA over flood reimbursements from the 2013 flood. And we will be working on preparing and prepping 2 new county commissioners who will be elected in 2020 and take office the following year. So a lot to look forward to. Then there's always the surprises that will keep us on our toes.
Hi, I'm Michael Doherty. I'm the District Attorney for the 20th Judicial District in Colorado, which is Boulder County. And I have the great honor of serving as District Attorney and overseeing an office of 90 incredibly dedicated and hardworking public servants. Our goal in the District Attorney's Office is to do justice in every case. And we handle cases, criminal cases, ranging from shoplift and trespass all the way up to sex assault and homicide. And with 11,000 cases in a year, we're a very busy office. We work hard to make sure we're reaching the right outcome for the victim, the offender, and for the community. 2019 was an especially dynamic and successful year in terms of the serious cases that we prosecuted, including sex assault and homicide cases. I'm very grateful to the staff for the hard work they put in on those, and also for the number of programs we've developed that we're committed to help people get back on the right track. We've expanded our diversion program. In fact, last year, we diverted more juveniles out of the justice system than we actually prosecuted. And the goal there is to make sure they go on to have productive lives and be great members of our community. We've expanded restorative justice and diversion to include adults and juveniles and low-level felonies, as well as misdemeanor cases. In 2020, we're looking to expand restorative justice and diversion even further. And we're going to include drug cases, and we're partnering with public health to make sure we have the best possible treatment and response for people who are in the throes of drug addiction. We also launched the very first and the only mental health pre-file diversion program in the state. Thanks to the incredible leadership by Sheriff Pelley, we've been able to secure state funds as a pilot program here in Boulder County. And with those funds, we've now set up a program so when someone's booked into the jail, they're screened for a mental health disorder. And if it's a low-level offense, we're going to divert them out of the jail with no filing of charges, so no charges whatsoever, and connect them with treatment in the community. So our Fresh Start program, the first of its kind in Colorado, allows individuals who had failed to show for court, who have a warrant out for their arrest, to come to the courthouse and vacate that warrant and either resolve the case or get the case back on the calendar. What's really amazing about Fresh Start is it was done on a Saturday in April and then another Saturday up in Longmont in November. And for both of those dates, we had staff from the District Attorney's Office, the Criminal Defense Bar, immigration attorneys, the Sheriff's Office, and the courthouse, including Chief Judge Bakke, all giving up their Saturday to be a part of this event, to allow offenders to come into the courthouse without fear of arrest, clear their warrant, and get their life back on track. Similarly, we launched our Moving On from Marijuana program to vacate convictions for conduct that would otherwise be legal today. The goal there is to make sure if people are applying for school or jobs or housing, and they have a conviction for marijuana possession, conduct that would otherwise be legal in the state of Colorado today, that we should vacate those convictions as a matter of fundamental fairness. We're committed to that. So here in Boulder, I know we can do better, and I'm so excited that we have the incredible staff we do at the District Attorney's Office and the strong partnerships we have throughout the jurisdiction, including with law enforcement. Those partnerships, the collaboration that we have right here in this room as you watch the video, is something that makes Boulder County so special and what makes me especially thrilled to be District Attorney. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Frank Alexander. I'm the Director of Housing and Human Services, and we here at HHS are incredibly excited to enter into the 2020-2030 decade with our incredible staff, the families that we serve, and our community partners that are all part of the critical work that we do. We're focused on two major things for 2020, and we believe that they're critical to equity throughout Boulder County, and they are access to safe and stable housing and access to early childhood and child care supports. And so as part of the first, what we're working on regionally is a Home Wanted campaign. This is our effort to expand Boulder County's affordable housing stock to 12% by 2035. And what we'd like to share with all county staff and partners is to please come and tell your stories. We know how challenging access to housing is in our community, and the stories really matter in us raising public awareness and encouraging us to really achieve the promises of the plan. As part of the plan, what we're doing in Boulder County is we actually have 3 housing communities that are in process and underway. So Tungsten Village, which has been one of our most successful efforts, is broken ground in Nederland. It's 26 homes. It'll be completed in the summer of 2020. And in April of 2020, we're breaking ground on a very exciting new project in Longmont called the Kaufman Street Project, which is a public-private partnership to build 73 affordable homes right across the street from the hub with some county office space and a coffee shop and some shared parking. And then third, we're working on a 400-home affordable housing community in Lafayette that our community out there has really helped us design and structure, and we're going to be breaking ground on that, we project, in 2021. So we have 500 homes in the pipeline. And our second most important effort in 2020 is to really sort of relentlessly focusing on improving outcomes and access for young children and young families in our community. We have a statewide partnership that we're part of called the Colorado Partnership for Thriving Families, and it's bringing together new members and partners across the region and across sectors to help us really focus on providing kids access to quality care, providing young families access to health care, providing tons of prevention supports, and we're really focused on reducing child maltreatment statewide. Internally, what that has meant is we've actually been providing almost double the amount of local money into the state resources. And I think the one ask that we have for all county employees is that when you or a partner that you work with in the community see a young parent with a young child, or a pregnant mom, or a nursing mom, it's really critical that we pay extra special attention to that opportunity for engagement in our community, because all of our health and well-being is honestly dependent upon Healthy Start for every kid in Boulder County. Here's to 2020 and an amazing decade ahead. I think Boulder County is going to become an even greater place to live and work and serve by 2030, so let's all do what we can.
Hi, Michelle Krizik, Deputy of the Board of County Commissioners. I'm here to tell you about 2019 in the Commissioner's Office. So our policy team was super busy this year. As usual, they were down at the legislature. There were 654 bills introduced this year, and we lobbied on almost 300 of those bills. So they were really busy down in the legislature. Some of our major priority areas for this year were climate action, oil and gas development, affordable housing, including some great work that our policy team did on mobile home protections for mobile homeowners, which was great. The policy team works hard all year gathering information from departments, and that's what they used for their work at the legislature every year. They also work with municipal partners and other regional partners on statewide and national issues. So as the legislature starts for 2020, they're going to be very busy through the spring. Our sustainability group is also really busy this year. We had some great projects, very innovative things. One of the major ones to note is Jack's Solar Garden, which is the first agrivoltaic system in the US. It's giving us an opportunity to study how we can grow crops around solar arrays. This is super innovative, and it's really exciting that Boulder County is a major subscriber to this solar garden. Also, our sustainability team, which is now known as OSCAR, or the Office of Sustainability, Climate Action and Resilience, has been working very hard in 2019 to allocate the sustainability tax funds, which are starting to be collected now in 2020. There are a lot of projects in many departments that are being done by the team, and it's great work, and thanks to the voters of Boulder County for giving us that money to do this important work. Our records team has also been very busy in 2019. Many of you may not know that they undertook a major project to update both our agenda and our web streaming software. It was a lot of work, and they really pulled together as a team and did a great job. This is software that impacts every part of our business, for every business meeting and any other public hearings. And it's great for our public because now you can watch public hearings on any platform, even on your phone. Another change for the records team that will help them support their mission to provide the best in public services, that they're going to be moving under the county administrator's office. And this will provide a lot more support for the work that they do day to day. They're going to be closer to most of the people who provide information for business meetings and for other public hearings, as well as there'll be more IT support. So while we will miss seeing them in our commissioner's office, they're not moving location. They'll still be part of our team, but they're going to be reporting into a bigger structure, which will provide a lot more support for the work that they do. We also had a lot of work by our public information and administration teams this year. We've been busy keeping up with constituent issues, with filming videos, like this video that Gabby's doing for us today, and with a lot of other work that just keeps us moving seamlessly and provides good information for the public. And scheduling the commissioner's time is always a huge challenge, and hats off to the team for doing a great job with that this year. So in conclusion, there's a lot that happened in 2019, and there's a lot more that's going to happen in 2020. 2020 is going to be a fantastic year. There's a lot of organizational change, and I know it's been difficult and it's been challenging, but our team stepped up, and I really want to say thank you to everybody in the Commissioner's Office for all the hard work they did, and for really every day coming to work to provide the best in public service for our constituents in Boulder County. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Eric Lane, Director for Boulder County Parks and Open Space, and I'm excited to give you an update on some of our 2019 accomplishments. We completed 16 land and water acquisitions, totaling 453 acres and shares in several priority irrigation ditches. This map shows the location of the county's newest open space lands, including the historic Wanaka Centennial Farm near Lafayette. Today, I'm pleased to be giving this annual summary from one of our most significant accomplishments in 2019, the completion of new facilities, trails, and historic reservation at Heil Valley Ranch. This project created an abundance of new amenities. The Schoolhouse Loop is a 1-mile, multi-use trail with features that support skill development for beginner mountain bikers while creating ADA access to the Altona Schoolhouse and a connection to Left Hand Canyon Drive. You'll see that staff created an environment that honors the ranch history of the property and restores important features like an 1891 Union Pacific caboose. In just a short distance from the trailhead, you'll find the fully restored Altona Schoolhouse, a 1-room stone schoolhouse built in 1880, which is now open for public access and interpretation. In other accomplishments, Parks and Open Space continued to complete flood recovery work in several areas. Along the St. Vrain, between Lyons and Longmont, we've initiated construction on our largest project to restore several reservoirs destroyed by the flood. This $10 million project will be completed next year. At the same time, we commence work on Phase 2 of the Reach 3 River Restoration Project nearby. We recently completed the Brubaker Restoration Project on Left Hand Creek, repairing flood-damaged agricultural and riparian areas. This project protects communities in Longmont, widens the floodplain, and restores riparian vegetation that will provide wildlife habitat and carbon sequestration. And lastly, we're wrapping up the long-awaited reconstruction of the Annie White Trail, which includes a new and expanded trailhead parking lot. In agriculture, we're excited to have begun a 5-year carbon sequestration study on both cropland and rangeland. We hope to demonstrate the positive effects of a number of practices, including cover crops, compost application, and a combination of both as appropriate to the site. Storing more carbon in the soil has great potential to mitigate climate change. Much of what we do cannot be accomplished without the help and partnership of many people and organizations in Boulder County. In 2019, CSU Extension's 4-H program worked with over 530 youth and 240 adult volunteers to deliver an exceptional youth development program. Speaking of youth development, the Youth Corps had another enormously successful year, employing 150 teens on 18 different teams. The standout projects for these teams included sprucing up the Agricultural Heritage Center, a major cleanup of the Walker Ranch homestead site, and rerouting a trail at Walker Ranch. And our 2019 summary would not be complete without mentioning that the County Fairgrounds was pleased to host the 150th Boulder County Fair in August. And as we look towards 2020, the county will be hiring a consultant to work with the community in developing a new master plan to guide the development and investment in this community asset and gathering place. Thank you to all our county staff, volunteers, Youth Corps, and partners in the community. We got a lot done in 2019 because of your contributions and commitment. Let's see what we can make happen in 2020.
Hi, I'm Jeff Sayak. I'm the Director of Boulder County Public Health, and our goal at Public Health is to assure that everyone has the opportunity for a healthy life. Mental health continues to be a major focus for us, and in 2019 we continued to support families and their children around mental health supports. Through our community mental health initiative, we've worked with both St. Vrain Valley and Boulder Valley school districts this last year to assure that kids had access to services and supports that would help keep them healthy in their communities. In 2019, we undertook a thorough behavioral health assessment in Boulder County, working with our Boulder County Housing and Human Services, Community Services, Criminal Justice Services, and providers in the community. We've come up with a set of recommendations that will help improve our behavioral health system in 2020, and we are committed to assuring that those recommendations get implemented both in 2020 and well into the future. Tobacco prevention was also a strong focus in 2019. This year, vaping emerged as a serious issue for many of our communities. We worked closely with the City of Boulder to ban the sale of flavored vaping products and worked with the cities of Boulder, Superior, Lafayette, and Louisville to increase the minimum age of tobacco purchase to 21. In 2019, we put a lot of focus on protecting our environment. We co-led a local government coalition that was critical in developing new state regulations for zero-emission vehicles. With the passage of Senate Bill 181, we're co-leading a local government coalition of more than 30 communities across the state of Colorado. This included facilitating recommendations to the Oil and Gas Commission to define the rule changes that will help assure health and safety related to those oil and gas production facilities. Assuring equity for us in Boulder County is extremely important. We know that equity can make a huge difference on the impacts in people's lives, and all of the work that we're doing in Boulder County Public Health is focusing on assuring that equity is built into all of our programs. A few examples of those include our fruit and vegetable program, also known as SNAP-GAP, is a pilot we started this year that helps families who don't qualify for standard food assistance programs to still be able to afford fresh produce from select stores in the city of Boulder. Our Nurse Family Partnership is a home visitation program that supports families with limited income during their first pregnancy and throughout the first 2 years. It helps ensure that those who are at highest risk for adverse outcomes are given more support directly in their homes. In 2019, Public Health was instrumental in influencing the policy behind House Bill 1309, the new state law that vastly increases the protection of homeowners in mobile home parks and will help preserve affordable home options for many of these people into the future. In 2020, we'll continue to build on all these efforts and continue to assure that as many people as possible have an opportunity for a healthy life in Boulder County.
Hey, it's Joe Pelley from the Sheriff's Office. A lot of things happened here in 2019, so I'll just kind of recap some of the highlights. Big news is planning began on the alternative sentencing and jail remodeling and upgrades. In fact, the addition for the administrative portion of the jail is under construction now and it will likely open the first quarter of 2020. In addition to that, we had a grant opportunity that allowed us to remodel and repurpose one of the modules in the jail into a dedicated mental health competency restoration unit. The goal and the purpose of that is to cut down on the backlog of people waiting to get into the state hospital. So we're very proud of the fact that we've opened that and that it's been funded by the State Department of Behavioral Health and it's not come from the county funds. We were able to make some significant hiring and staff improvements at the jail in 2019. We hired a large number of people in new positions, including detention specialists and deputies. And the immediate result of that has been a reduction in the use of overtime and a lot better effect on the burnout that we were experiencing with our employees. Commissioners just approved funding for the startup of a 2-year pilot traffic enforcement unit. We are going to begin hiring process and purchasing vehicles. One of the chief complaints that we get from the community is speed and unsafe driving on county roads. So we're going to hire a handful of people and start a traffic unit, and they're going to be just dedicated to doing that and not answering calls for service. We worked with Representative Garnett this past year in the state legislature to create and draft a red flag bill, an extreme risk protection order. It gives law enforcement and families the opportunity to go to court and petition a judge to have someone's guns temporarily taken away from them if they are deemed to pose a significant risk to themselves or the community. I went to the Capitol several times and testified on that bill, helped work with the drafters, and we were able to get it passed. So we're one of now 17 states in the United States that has a working extreme risk protection order bill, and that law will take effect in January. We also partnered with an organization called Shield 616 and a couple of local churches, and we were able to purchase rifle-rated body armor, helmets, and trauma kits for all of our deputies through donated money through these churches. And we were able to give all that to our deputies, and we saved the county about $350,000 in the process of doing that. And then lastly, I was appointed by Governor Polis to serve on the State Wildfire Commission. So that commission is going to be important in the future in helping shape state policy and legislation. So that's the year in a wrap.
Hi there, Paul Weisman, Boulder County Treasurer. Happy New Year. As we move into 2020, I just want to reflect a little bit on 2019. I continue to be incredibly proud of the work that we've done here in our office in reaching out and working with other departments. The Assessor's Office and I have continued to do senior programs, really letting folks know what's available for help, not just for property taxes, for other bills, and how they can appeal and how we figure out value and really how we work. We've also expanded that with the assessors and reached out to businesses doing road shows with personal property taxes. Those two things we're going to continue forward to 2020, continuing to reach out to businesses, continuing to reach out to seniors. 2019 was the first year we crossed the $700 million mark in property taxes collected. I'm very, very proud of the job we do in getting near 100% collection. We've changed the way that we approach business personal property tax delinquencies. As we move into 2020, our biggest hurdle is going to be becoming a public trustee. Come July the 1st, by new state law, this office not only is the treasurer, but we're the public trustee for the county. That's everything that has to do with houses and people that have loans on houses. We're a third-party neutral arbiter of everything from foreclosures to paying off your mortgage. And that'll cause some strains down here. I think we'll be able to manage through it. I was trustee before I was treasurer. It's just going to be added work for our office, but I think we're up to it. One last thing I just want to say back to mobile homes. We've done a great job working with the community and really bringing down the numbers of mobile homes that are delinquent. A woman from Deb and I have gone out a number of times and knocked on doors and talked to homeowners and really stressed the importance of paying their mobile home taxes. We've got it to the point where, quite frankly, there's only 3 homes right now that are on the hook, people that could possibly lose their home, and we're working very, very hard to bring that number to 0. So looking forward to a great 2020 on Boulder County.
I'm Janet Peterson, Administrative Services Director for Boulder County, and I'm delighted to be able to share with you some of the major accomplishments of the Admin Services Department in 2019. We had dozens of things that we worked on last year to help support the county's mission to be the best in public service. The first one is the BC Swift project, which was the countywide replacement of our financial system. It required more than a village worth of effort. And several months in, after we went live on May 1st, we're still working through some of the kinks. I just appreciate so much all of the time and talent and energy that people have put into really achieving the goals that we were aiming for around more transparent financial information and providing better financial information to decision makers. We're not there yet. It's a journey, but with everyone's help, we're going to get there. We also spent a lot of time and effort this year working with the public safety folks on their facilities. We have a significant remodel of the Boulder County Justice Center that is for the first time going to enable the district attorney's office to operate out of one cohesive space, and it's going to be a game changer for that organization. Then over at the Boulder County Jail site, we did 2 significant projects this year. The Jail Administration Wing is opening this quarter, and that will provide some really important staff amenities. For the first time, they'll have a nice break room, there are locker room enhancements, and a larger briefing and training area for the staff. In addition, we worked with the jail staff on creating a new mental health unit within the existing footprint of the Boulder County Jail. In the area of inclusive hiring practices, our Human Resources team worked with the Cultural Responsiveness and Inclusion Advisory Committee to develop a set of guiding practices. These are things we're going to be working on putting in place in 2020 to make sure that we are recruiting and retaining a diverse workforce. In addition, we relaxed some of the degree requirements for positions at Boulder County where your work experience matters just as much as having a college degree. And we also implemented a bilingual pay program for employees who use that essential skill in their work every day. It was a big year this year for Board of Equalization. So our business operations team worked with IT and the assessor's office to make sure that that process ran smoothly for taxpayers who wanted to appeal their property tax valuations. For the first time ever, we had an online system where folks could schedule their own hearings, and that was a significant enhancement in public service. Last but not least, we partnered with the Commissioner's Sustainability team to get to 100% renewable energy portfolio for our buildings. And I'm very pleased to report that through the purchase of third-party solar, we're going to be able to accomplish that in the very near future. I'm very proud of the work of the Administrative Services Department, and especially what we were able to accomplish in 2019. Moving forward under the reorganization that you're going to be hearing about shortly, Admin Services Department as a name is going away, but all the men and women who work in the department are still going to be here every day doing this great work on behalf of Boulder County. I've been delighted to work with you over the past decade, and I'm very proud of everything you've been able to accomplish. Thank you very much.